Yes,
I'm loving
honey.
it.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Look, honey. Morning, Frugal Mama. It is a beautiful day. Okay, because let me tell you, honey, I got cute today. Girl,
I was trying.
honey.
You know.
I said, look, we're gonna be talking about repairing relationships, honey. I gotta look like a little something today. Okay. That look, I even bought even bought the unicorn for good look. See, I even bought the
Oh,
unicorn.
I
Hey,
love
come
it.
through now. Come on
Ooh,
now.
I love. See, looking too cute. Looking too
Yeah.
cute. Too cute.
Honey, I do something this morning, okay?
I'm loving it.
Baby, it is Thursday. We got one more day.
Ooh, one.
Woo! One more day to Friday.
Oh, yes.
Baby. Yes. One more day to Friday.
I got, I got to practice. I thought I had a fan, but I don't think I have a. I don't think I have a good fan. I need to
Honey, when
use
I
it.
say I have been working hard to get these fans, girl. Hey, Zayda, good morning. Like I promise you, I've been working hard to get these fans
Yes,
because baby, everywhere I go, people like, I need that.
I
I need
need it.
that. I gotta have it. I
I
said,
need
so
it.
I'm working on it. I gotta get these logos together. You
Yes,
know what I'm saying? So
yes.
when people out here with these fans, honey, you can make sure you see that. Make sure you see that logo right there.
That's
Man, I'm
that's
trying
what
to
I
tell
want to
you,
see.
working on
That's
it,
what
baby.
I
I'm
want to
working on it.
see.
Got some things stirring up. We got some things stirring up.
And those earrings are just. I love them. I love that.
Baby, when I tell
Ooh.
you, I got so many things under this hat, honey, that I am working on. Like I am in the process of making my own earrings, wood and metal. And since I'm a painter,
Yes,
um,
that'd be.
it'll be they'll be unique earrings. So no two pair will be alike.
Oh,
And each pair will have some sort of my artwork on there. So they'll all be unique, and you ain't got to worry about like I know them earrings. Like no, you don't, because
no, you don't. You don't have
you
these.
don't have any
You
of
don't have
those.
these.
Those are BREE exclusives. You don't know about those. You don't
Well,
know about those.
I got to get. I got to get the earrings, the fan. I need all of that.
Baby,
All of it.
we
All
gonna
of
have
it.
you clacking and shimmying everywhere, honey, everywhere. Good morning, Joan. How are you this morning? Honey, when I
Joan.
say we are going to look,
Ooh.
we're going to be doing it, okay?
That's the
We are
truth.
going to be 2021
Yes.
has been nothing but so far a year of manifestations fulfilling themselves. I
Yes.
promise you,
Yeah.
like left and right, there have been so many manifestations for myself that like just I wrote down, like we talked about yesterday, the list,
Yeah.
like things I wrote down that I wanted to accomplish, things I wanted to
Mm.
change. And like when I say left and right things are just manifesting themselves, like
Yes.
who sometimes you have to be like, okay,
Yes. Slow.
give me a minute, give me a minute. They be
That's
coming at you, and you be like, "Wait, I didn't think it was gonna come this fast. I
that's
didn't think
right.
it was gonna come this fast."
That's
But
what
when
I'm
you
saying.
manifesting things for yourself, and you praying for things for yourself, make sure that you prepared. Make
Yes.
sure that you are prepared for when it comes your way. Because
Amen.
don't pray for something you ain't ready for,
That's
and
exactly
don't try to manifest something you ain't ready
that's
for.
exactly
Like if
right.
you praying for a house, baby, don't be praying for a house and you ain't ready to pay them utility bills.
No. So you may want to slow down on the
You
prayer.
know what I'm saying? Like pump your brakes,
That's just a little
pump them. Pump them brakes. Good morning, Tabby. Thank you, Joe. Girl, look, I had to do something different,
Oh,
child. Okay, I had to do
I'm
something a little
loving
different.
it. Joan, I
Girl,
know
you
you
can
love
see me.
that.
Look, died it one
Agree.
night. Then I got up yesterday after the show. I was like, you know what? I ain't done. When they're like, girl, I this stuff all
I'm
up.
telling you,
Like, did it again, huh? I said,
beautiful, beautiful. But I'm sure your hair grows fast, so it'll grow right
it
back in.
does though. Like I promise you, by next week, this right here
It'll
will
be
be all
all
grown in. You be like, didn't you just put your hair? Like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna do it again.
about that again.
It grow like wildfire and weeds. Hey, what's going on with you, boo? How you doing this morning? Girl, when I tell you, like today is just, I'm so excited about today.
Yes.
So we're going to get into we're going to be talking about repairing relationships. So just so y'all know, we're going to be talking about repairing relationships. So had looked like a little something that we're going to be repairing relationships today, because it can get a little deep. It can get a little deep. Okay,
they do.
Especially depending on what type of relationship you're talking about. You're trying to repair. Because
amen. That's true.
Baby,
that's the truth.
Some relationships are repairable and some ain't. We're gonna talk about all that today.
That's so true.
Hey, Joe, there go my twin. Good morning, twin. He told them, look at that hair, babe. Look, my twin. No, I'm quick to shave my whole head. He already know.
We're like, Bree, where'd all your hair go?
I promise you, I have done it several times. I asked my dad to cut my hair once, and he was like, I couldn't. I asked my brother, I said, will you cut my hair for me? He said, And when I say my hair, my afro was like big, like Angela Davis did, because I've been natural for 20 some odd years.
Well, that's what
it wouldn't help me. Girl, I went in that bathroom. They were like, oh my God, what did you do?
What did you do?
Now when you cut my hair,
cut it.
I had no choice but to cut my hair.
I know he was feeling some type of way too, like, okay.
Girl, I made such a mess on purpose. I promise you. He was like, yeah, we're going to fix this.
Yeah, we're going to have to fix this.
And the next time I cut it, girl, I had 3 Jules bags worth of hair. Okay, let me tell you something. When India Ari made that song, I am not my hair. She made it for me, honey, because I could care less about hair. Okay, my hair be down the middle of my back, and I get up the next morning and be like, you know what? I think we're going to go with no hair for the next 6 months. Yeah.
Like,
morning, Daddy. Good morning, Miss Unique. My brother said I had a Bernadine moment from waiting to exhale.
Because she sure enough did.
But I did though. I did. My hair was so long.
Oh my God. Like
the kids woke up in the morning. It was like
okay.
We were looking in the bathroom. It was hair everywhere.
Wait. What?
I thought it was hilarious, but clearly I was the only one that seemed to think it was hilarious.
I was going to say
nobody else thought it was hilarious.
You were the only one in the house that thought that was hilarious.
I promise you, like nobody else thought it was hilarious. My kids, my brother, it was all just looking at me like, so what are we going to do with this? That's what we're doing. Like, why? Just why?
We're just gonna do this, and that's just what we're doing.
Oh, they was not happy at all. Yeah. I said, I promise you, by the time you actually get upset, it'll grow back.
It'll grow back. That's right.
And guess what? It did.
And it did. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm giving away. Oh, honey. I told y'all it was gonna be a good day today. I told y'all it's Thursday. One more day. Good morning, Karen. One more day to Friday.
And then a long weekend. Long weekend. I mean, come on.
Now we ain't seen the fan too much the past few days, but we're gonna see it today, baby.
We'll see it today.
As I slowly sip my coffee.
That's right. So, wait, I need to get my water out.
Right. Get out of my mommy shark cup,
I love that mommy shark. I love that mommy shark.
Girl, they even had mommy shark on my birthday cake when my kids surprised me with a little bowling thing. They had mommy shark on the mommy shark.
I love it.
My friend Miss Unique said my hair grow a lot anyway. It do. It do. I promise you it do. And even when it's short, it be so thick. You be like, huh, it's short, but it's hot. It's hot.
Right. It's hot. It's hot. Oh.
I promise you. So since we have enjoyed our morning so far, we are going to do our deep breathing, y'all. We've had a good laugh so far, so that means we done open them lungs up a little bit.
Yes.
We gonna inhale and hold for 10 seconds if you can, and when we exhale, we are going to exhale all of the negativity. We're going to exhale all of the toxins. We're going to exhale yesterday because it's gone and we can't do nothing about it.
That's right.
We're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on the right now and what we can do, what we can change. And we're not going to worry about tomorrow because it's not here yet and it'll worry about itself. Okay.
That's right.
So I'm going to ask y'all to take a deep breath with me. And if you can, hold it for 10 seconds. So let's inhale. And hold for 10 seconds. And exhale. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today saying thank you. We come to you today, Lord, just to say I love you. I come to you just thanking you for protecting us during the night. I thank you for allowing my dad to make it through his surgery successfully, Lord. I thank you for touching the hands of those surgeons, Lord. I thank you for touching the hands of the anesthesiologists and the nurses in recovery, Lord. I just thank you for everyone that was on his team, dear Heavenly Father. Yes. I thank you for my family being able to stand in the gap for support, Lord. I thank you for all of those who touched and agreed and prayed for the safety and the success of my dad's surgery. I thank you for the roof over our heads, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you for the clothes on our back and the food on our table, Lord, for so many don't have. We thank you for blessing us with those, Lord. We thank you for the blessings you bestow upon us that we don't deserve. We thank you for not giving us what we do deserve, Lord. We just thank you for your hedge of protection during the night, for us sleeping in our beds and our family members able to rise another day. We just ask that you will continue to keep those angels of protection around us as we come and we go, dear Heavenly Father. We ask that you would just put your hand of mercy and grace on each and every endeavor of those under the sound of my voice. We ask these blessings and give thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Woo.
I'm so thankful to hear about your dad, that he...
My daddy, honey, is a rock star.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Honey, I am a daddy's girl.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
I know what you.
I am.
I know exactly what you mean.
I am Team Daddy. Okay, I promise you, I'm a daddy's girl.
I love it.
Yeah. Man, like you know, you would think that at 40, some of that nostalgia would wear out.
No,
no. No, I think as you get older, you just become more protective.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Like I'm protective of my daddy, like I'm protective of my kids. Baby,
absolutely, absolutely, as you should be.
I'm trying to tell you, good morning, Sapphire. All right, come on, Sapphire.
Sapphire.
Girl, Sapphire on here this morning.
Sapphire's here today.
All right now.
Yes, well, you know.
Come on now.
Sapphire is here. Joan is definitely, she's the queen.
Yes,
Sapphire. She'll sneak in there. Stone has to kind of chill. Maybe even keep Sapphire under control.
Girl, let me I'm trying to tell you. So today we're talking about repairing. My brother said, even with the family, I'm overprotective. Okay, so what, twin?
You should be. You should be. You're supposed
My brother still treat. Well, let me tell you something. See, I gotta take the glasses off of this. Okay, let me tell you something. My brothers still treat me like I'm 12. Okay, like dating. Dating who? No, ma'am. Could you imagine? Let me tell you something. First of all, the funny part is my baby brother. Brother's like 6'10".
Oh,
my daddy like 6'7".
Oh my
God. Other brothers are like 6 feet, 6'1".
Oh my goodness! So you're definitely
and
the
I'm
short
5'10". Okay,
I was gonna say, and 5'10" is not short.
But the killer part is most men that be like, "Hey, how you doing?" are like 5'7", 5'8". So could you imagine me trying to bring somebody home, talking to my daddy like, "Hello, how you doing?" No, ma'am.
I'm just a little bit shorter than you. Well, just a lot bit shorter than you. Just a lot bit. 5'1".
Girl, I am the midget. Okay, I am the midget, and I'm 5'10". I am the midget. My son is 6'3".
Oh my God.
No, ma'am. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. No. Like,
I'd be like, hi there, young man.
But see, I give it right. Because see, whatever they give, I give right back. Because my family and my brothers know that I am I Spy. That is my nickname, I Spy. Okay, because I will turn into FBI and CIA on you if you messing with one of my brothers. Because I need to know who you are, where you live, who your family is, what your family name is, where your family come from. Do they come from down south? Do they come from out east? I need to know these things. Okay, I need to know your birthday. I need to know your age. I need to know your height. I need to know your weight. I need to know your driver's license. I need to know. I give it right back. I give it right back. I promise you, I give it right back.
So they better come with a nice dissertation.
I need your whole list, okay? It better be laid out like a resume.
Because BREE will find out.
I'm trying to tell you.
Already have it ready to go.
You better not have no bankruptcies. You better not have no eviction.
So don't even step to her with the bankruptcies.
Baby, I'm trying to tell you. We're going to be in there like we at the bank. What's your name? Okay. Name, age, birthday. What's your mother's maiden name? What's your father's name? Do you know? My brother, but wait, let me show you how funny my brother is. He going to say, I'll do a back court cases, and what is the next court date?
Oh, my goodness.
Look, it's protect because I don't have the height like my brothers have to be people and running people off. So I got to do my due diligence. And give my brothers back what they give to me. Okay. Good morning, G. Good morning. Like I promise you, I got to give it back now. I got to give it back. You know, like
nothing wrong with that.
And we do, like, you know, in families, we always have, you know, we don't always agree.
Nope.
You know, and in families, sometimes we argue.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, sometimes we even fight.
Yep.
You know, but one thing I found is sometimes in families, even, you know, more so in families than in friendships, we have a hard time repairing those relationships when they kind of stretch and strain.
That's so true. Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I find is, you know, usually when people are hurt, instead of bringing it to the forefront, they hold on to it, harbor it, let it build. Yeah. And then it might be something else that's little or something unintentional, you know, and then as it's building, and you're not, the other person is not thinking that they're doing anything, but because you're already mad,
that's right.
You're allowing things to build because, oh, they walked in and didn't speak to you first. Okay. Now you're moving that over. Okay. Well, they left out. And when they left, they hugged everybody but you. Okay. Now you add that to it. Like, so sometimes we take things as a slight when it's not really a slight, especially when we're already mad.
Yes.
So now the question becomes, Miss Unique says, people hurt people do hurt people. She said they don't want to men going through that now. And we have to find a way how to repair that relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because sometimes we need to learn how to repair those relationships. Sometimes we may want to, but we just don't know how to.
Yes.
You know, we don't know what steps to take. We may not know, you know, not just the steps, but we may not know the right words to say. You know? And so that's what I want to talk about today. Like, what is it? Like, what are some of the steps that we could teach you all to, you know, to taking, to be able to mend that friendship, mend that you know, that familial relationship, you know, and sometimes it can even be a marital relationship.
Very true. You
know, and so I want us to just, that's what I want our takeaway to be today, on how to respectfully disagree and how to be able to mend those relationships without it turning so toxic that it's at the point of no return.
So true. So true. Well, I think the very first thing is, if you're trying to mend a relationship that, you know, you feel is broken, you do need to pray. That's the first thing. First thing, you need to pray about it and make sure that this is a relationship that can go forward. You know, you have to make sure, because sometimes, you know, even if you do want to mend the relationship, it might not really be a good relationship for you. You know, it could be a friend, like you said, a spouse, you know, family member, you know, so it has to make, you have to make sure that it's actually a relationship worth repairing.
And that is healthy.
And that's yes, it needs
that is healthy for you to be in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Even some family relationships are toxic.
Exactly. So you
some family members you have to walk away from and be like,
yes, see ya. See you later. I can't, you know, you just can't deal with that. If it's not healthy for you and you know it's not healthy for you, you have to walk away. Yeah. Oh, it is Miss Joan. I see you have
glowing as always. Glowing and beautiful as always.
You have yourself.
You're not gonna make that face. You're not gonna make that face.
Making that face. What are you doing, lady?
It's a subconscious thing. In all these years, I have not learned how to disguise my feelings well. Unfortunately. So you know when Flip Wilson, well, you don't know who Flip Wilson is probably. He used to say, "What you see is what you get." What you see is what you get.
All right, to Flip Wilson. Love Flip. Love Flip.
I love Flip Wilson.
Love Flip Wilson.
Yeah, he's probably on the TV channel, you know, from decades ago. Yeah.
Well, we know that younger generation ain't gonna know who Flip Wilson is.
No. I used to do a Flip Wilson in high school. I used to imitate Flip Wilson, you know, get the jokes.
Love
Yeah. So how's everybody doing this morning? Good morning, studio audience. I'm, glad to be here, as BREE says, above ground and in my right mind. My right mind. It might not be, but in my right mind. So I'm very grateful, very thankful.
Hey, I'm happy to see both of you beautiful ladies this morning.
Miss Bobby.
Honey, yes. I love seeing both y'all in the morning. Babe.
I love you, ladies.
Oh, where's my fan?
I don't have.
Now you're supposed to have that work fan already ready.
Oh, now this much
poppable and close.
This the work fan.
Yeah.
Yes, darling.
That's about all I can do with this.
And the ladies in the church said hello.
Pop for John.
Okay, now well, I haven't been practicing, but I'll try. And I hope it doesn't fly across the room.
Uh-oh. Oh, she got it.
She got it. See, I told you she got it. Baby.
I bought a fan from the dollar store a long time ago, but I can't find it. It was purple, so I had to get it. But I had to get it. I had to get it. I can find it. I don't even know if I was like, I need to practice with that fan and
I'll be out everywhere with this fan, and they'd be like,
I can't wait till you get your fan merch out.
Look me up on Facebook. I'd be like, look me up on Facebook. I'd be like, first you got to watch the show first.
That's right.
Before you even qualify. That's in the customer list.
Right.
You got to look at In My Element with NEILA.
That's right.
But you got to watch the show first, because then you know how to use it. You got to know how to use it, honey. Because this thing is like a ceiling fan. Girl, this thing gets a blowing. Look at this.
Woo, yes.
This thing is like a ceiling fan. You be holding on to your lashes. Baby.
Look, I got my little church faint fan, my faint fan.
Right, that's the fan.
She about to faint, honey. She about to faint. Get her.
It's okay. Come on, mother. It's okay.
I was in the background and I was listening to BREE talk about your family and how your family sees you. And I know that the subject matter today is about relationships. And is it is the title Mending Relationships? Because I don't see it here.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, what a great idea, mending relationships. Mm-hmm. Because, when we're in our 30s, 20s, 30s, whatever, those are different chapters in our lives. And we have relationships, and some of them fall by the wayside. And a lot of it is through misunderstanding.
Yes.
People misunderstanding who you are.
Yeah.
And some of it is that old subconscious, as Bobby is, I know, is a psychology major up at so I'm not going to overstep. I'm just going to give my opinion.
I'm not going to overstep. I'm not.
I should say I started with psychology and ended with journalism. So,
but you know what you talk. But you know what? You know what you're talking about when you open your mouth. When you open your mouth, you know exactly what you're talking about, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about you.
Thank you.
And as far as mending relationships and misunderstandings and all of that, and people will tell you, oh, you have a breakup or whatever. It's like, well, you need to be the bigger person because you have a history. You know, they know your secrets. You know their secrets. And you need to be the bigger person sometimes. And sometimes you need to walk away. And so you need to examine how valuable that friendship or that relationship is before you do either. You need to, like everything else, you need to think about it. Think about, do I want this person in my life, you know, forever? Do I love this person? All of those questions you need to ask yourself. And if the friendship is, or the relationship is valuable enough to you, then like what's his name, Dr. Phil say, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Right.
That's right.
Pick one. Gotta pick one.
Right.
Pick one. Because eventually, if you are right in that, you know, relationship, in that blow up or dust up, if you are right, then you know you're right.
That's right.
So you don't have to pounce on it and bring it up every 5 minutes and keep talking about it and all that. The point, the question is, do I love this person? Do I want them in my life? Do I love these people? Because sometimes it's a bunch of people.
So true.
You know, and you have to ask yourself, do I love them? And then you just say, hey, well, I'll be wrong all day long. You'll find out I'm right down the road.
That's it.
It's Sapphire, you find out I'm right down the road, but I'm going to love on you right now while I'm here, while I'm breathing. And I don't want to miss any love.
That's right.
You know, I don't want to miss any of it by setting up with my mouth stuck out about something that didn't have nothing to do with nothing.
That's right. And not important. And it's not important. You know, it's not important.
Not important. Did nobody get hurt? Did nobody get killed? Did nobody, you know, everything I think is repairable if you want it to be repairable. And sometimes you got to stuff it down and say, you can be right all day long, but do you want to be happy, unhappy, or happy for the rest of your life?
Yes.
With the people that you love.
I think sometimes we have to, you also have to look at the situation. Because sometimes, yes, there are times that we do have to be the bigger person, but then sometimes you have to allow time. Because I've had situations where one of my sisters and I had a really bad disagreement. And it was like something so super petty almost, you know. And that particular day, I think I wasn't feeling well. She wasn't feeling well. And so I was misreading what she was doing and saying. She was misreading what I was doing and saying. And it just turned into a really big blow up. And like it literally took us almost 10 months before we were able to, like in that 10-month time frame, we would see each other, you know, because we did a lot of things similarly, you know, at the same time, same things. And we would see each other, you know, it would be cordial. It would be hello, you know, you keep it moving. We didn't have conversations. It would be just a simple hello, you know. But it took us 10 months to be able to sit down and have a conversation and be like, hey, look, I don't know what happened that day, but this is how I was interpreting what you were saying and doing. And this is how it made me feel. And she was like, hey, this is what I was feeling because you was doing this and you were saying that. and it made me feel like this. And at the end of that conversation, we realized that we were both feeling the same way. And because we weren't feeling well that particular day, we were misreading and misinterpreting what the other one was saying and doing, because we were doing and saying the same things to each other, but we both were taking it almost like as a slight and as a jab at the other one, because we were already feeling some type of way that day.
That's right.
But because we had to allow time to put us in a place where we were able to receive what the other person was saying with an open mind and an open heart. And we knew that this was a relationship that, one, was healthy for both of us. Two, was a relationship that we both genuinely wanted.
Yes.
And so because of that, and allowing time and not forcing the other one, you know, especially when we're out in public, you don't never confront nobody in public. Because what goes on between two people, whether it be a disagreement, whether it be a fight or whatever, you keep that between you two.
That's right.
Don't bring in outside sources. And by not allowing outside sources to participate in whatever discord we had going on and allowing time, we were able to come together like we was just together yesterday and still be ready to kick it, you know, and still have those conversations. So you have to look at the relationship to make sure that, like you say, it's healthy for you and that it's worth it, because unfortunately, sometimes all relationships are not repairable. Sometimes they're not worth repairing, and then sometimes they should be repaired. Some
and you're right about that time.
Walk out your life and leave. You know, some people you need to allow to walk out and leave, because sometimes when we're elevating ourselves and we're moving to the next platform and we see that either the people around us is not ready to elevate and move to that next level and want you to stay down where they are, sometimes you got to let them fall off or fall by the wayside and be okay. Because sometimes when you try to reach back to grab those people to bring them up to you, those are the people that'll pull you down, because they don't want you elevated. They want you down there where they are. So you have to be careful which relationships that you're choosing to repair, because sometimes it can be your family members, and that is just like, sometimes you're like, man, well, but I know we related. See him at family reunions. Keep it moving. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. All right. What'd you say? Somebody's calling my name. Okay, gotta go.
Keep it moving. That's right.
Gotta go. Like, don't allow, once they're gone, don't allow them back in your space, because you have to protect your space and you have to protect your peace.
Yes.
Your peace of mind and your peace in your heart.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't be in your bubble.
That's exactly.
Everybody can't be in your bubble.
So
I completely get it. Oh, we got some comments, y'all. Let's see here. Oh, good morning, Carlton. Good morning. Good morning, Ivory. How are you? Good morning, Rochelle and Special.
Hey, Carlton.
All right. Good morning, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, come on, y'all. Let's see. Man Q says, when it comes to relationships, sometimes just closing the chapter on that is all that needs to be done. Peace of mind is priceless to me. Some relationships, you just outgrow them. Absolutely. She also says, I'm tired of being the bigger person. Some people just want you to kiss their asses all the time, and I'm not the one. I've reached out with the olive branch more times than I can count. Now I just don't give them if we speak or if we don't. My relationship with my mother has been fractured from the time I was born. Now I've closed the door, closed the chapter, blocked calls. Now my peace is my serenity. Toxic relationships isn't my cup of tea. Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. Like Bonnie says, period.
That's right.
Period.
Good morning, Bonnie Chambers. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning. Good morning, Cindy. My two of my daughters are on here this morning. Good morning.
Love Bree's daughter.
My baby and my mom. Good morning, you know, sometimes you have to in certain relationships, you have to decide what's more important. And sometimes you have to choose yourself. Sometimes you have to choose yourself. And even in extending the olive branch, it takes two. It takes two people. Absolutely. And if I'm extending an olive branch to you because of something that I may have done that has offended you, and I have reached out and I have apologized, and you're still to the point where it's like, I don't care about your apology and that don't mean nothing. Then guess what? Sometimes it means you need to walk away because that's showing you that maybe that's not a relationship that's meant to be mended or a relationship that's meant to be kept.
That's right.
So all you can do at the end of the day is your part.
Do your part.
That olive branch. And if that person's not ready to receive it in their mind or in their heart, there is absolutely nothing you can do.
That's right.
But walk away.
Yep, you're absolutely right. It's how they receive it.
Like, I did try. And that's it. Because it takes two to mend a relationship. It can't be one-sided, because if the other person isn't ready to receive, then there is no moving forward. There is no work. There is no work that can be done. We have to make sure mending relationship. And EJ says mending relationships is not easy. Transparency is the key. You must first ask God to show you, but also ask to prepare your heart to receive what he shows you. Do self-check. Pride is not a spirit, is a spirit not of God. To know if the relationship is truly healed is when you can say, I'm sorry for my wrongs and I am sorry for my blindness and pride. Come on now.
That's right.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
You have to accept responsibility and take accountability for your role in whatever that discord was.
That's right. That's right.
You got to look at self in the mirror and be like, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong for what I did or for what I said. But you got to own it. You got to own it and you got to stand in it. And if you cannot stand in it and own it, why are you apologizing?
Right. That's exactly.
You don't mean it no way.
That's right. Yeah.
You don't mean it.
If you don't mean it, don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't tell me you sorry just because you see I'm kicking it, or you see I'm moving on up and you want to kick it and hobnob and rub elbows with the people I'm rubbing elbows with.
That's
No, apologies are nothing without actions.
That's right.
And explain yourself. You know, this was my intent, and I'm sorry that was the way that you received it. But this was my intent. And try to explain yourself. And then if they still don't want to hear it, then that's on them. If they don't want to hear it, if they don't want to receive it in the way that you are presented it to them, then that's not your fault. Especially if you explain, that's not what I meant. I meant this, and I'm sorry that you received it that way, but that's not my intent, or that was not my intent.
That's
and just keep it moving, move on down the road.
That's right. Nothing you can do. What am I supposed to do?
That's a wash. I wish you well. I wish you the best. Look, nothing but love for you, baby. Bye.
Bye now. I got to know. Deuces.
That's right.
Hey, Sam C. Smooth.
Oh, Sam.
You hear Bobby say,
she perked up real good.
Sam C. Smith.
That was her morning coffee.
Hello.
What time is it? He must be on break. He must be on a break. Like, what time is it?
He said he had to see his sugar this morning.
That's right.
I know that's right. Talking about a wonderful relationship. I mean, and relationships are work sometimes. But that that respect has to be there. The respect and the love for one another. It has to be there. And in some relationships that I've been in, the love wasn't there necessarily, but I respected them.
That's right.
That way it's not toxic. I respect you as a human being. I respect your opinion. Everything. I have respect for you. But if you do not have respect for another person, you shouldn't even be in their atmosphere. I wish you well. I wish you no harm, but we don't need to be around each other. Why?
That is so true. That is so true. It's not. It's just
I don't respect you.
That's what. Let me tell you something. You got to learn how to throw up that shade, baby. Look, and then
why? There's no reason.
Look, cover the whole thing, just pick around. Not today. No,
not today, darling. No.
I'm trying to tell you, baby, it is a wonderful thing when you learn to protect your space and you protect your peace and don't allow negativity or toxic in. Let me tell you something, baby. The sky is the limit. Let me tell you. We were talking about that this morning with the manifesting, and I've had toxic people leave my life like recently, and since those toxic people have left my life, and I have not tried to reach back in that toxicity or reach back in that negativity.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you what God won't do. Okay,
that's right.
He will make your enemy your footstool.
That's exactly right.
And He said that Himself.
Yes, He did. Yes, He did.
You got to learn how to discern. You got to learn how to discern who your friends are and who your enemies are, because sometimes the enemies look just as good as your friends, and they try to be even closer. Okay.
And the same advice that we give our children while they're growing up is everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your friend. I don't care how much that and how often they skinning and grinning in your face. Watch what they do.
Watch what
they do.
And I'm watching.
Watch their behavior.
That's right. That's right.
Around you.
I was like, you watch them.
Even a baby can look in a person's eyes and say, no, that ain't the person for me. No, don't leave me here with.
Let me tell you something. Babies and animals will tell. Babies and animals will tell you when people have bad energy. Animals go crazy when people have bad energy or have a bad aura about them. Let me tell you something. I got 4 dogs. And my dogs are the most loving pains in the butt ever. Okay. But when there's somebody that comes around that has bad energy, baby, my dogs will let you know. I mean, all of them just start barking, growling, and everybody else, they want you to hug them, they want you to pet them, they want you to be near them. But if you have bad energy, my dogs don't even want nothing to do with you. So why would I want something to do with you?
And I'm afraid of it's a thing that I grew up with. Cats and dogs. Never had a problem, never have any problem with it. One thing I've found about animals, as far as my experience, they'll make you like them.
Yes.
They will make you I'm like, oh, I'm scared of the dog, because I have a very good friend that has an English bully. And I love those. They can look ferocious. They're like, and they are no matter how
the sweetest dog ever.
That dog made me like him.
The sweetest dog ever.
First started coming around, they would put him in the cage, put him up because I was afraid of him. But now the dog is like, hey, Miss Joan, how you doing?
He walks in the door. He like
the same thing with my friends' cats. I'm afraid of cats, but I kind of teach myself, just go ahead and interact with them a little bit, because they can sense that fear.
Yes.
So they can sense fear.
Pheromone you give off.
They can sense other emotions. They can sense hate. They can sense. So they make me laugh. I'm like, oh no, that dog gonna bite me. No,
that's right.
They make friends with them. So,
but they do, like, people don't realize
animal friends.
Different pheromones. They do. Different emotions give off different pheromones, so they can tell when you're afraid. Certain pheromones are given off. When you're angry all the time, different pheromones are given off. So they can read. They can literally read the energy that you giving off. Like,
if they like you, they'll become more docile around you because they know you're afraid of them.
Yes.
That's what I discovered.
I'm with you, Joan. I'm afraid of dogs too. I
kind of like them.
Y'all can't come to my house if y'all afraid of animals.
I want the little
my house is like a zoo.
Yeah, I can deal with the little dogs, but I'm afraid it's bigger. Like, I'm afraid of
Bobby.
So
the little cute ones,
I was bit by a dog in the face.
When I was I was too. When I was little, I was not in the face, but I was bit.
6 stitches here, and it was a dog I knew. So I was like, okay, no more dogs. That's it.
Okay, well, I'll make sure I put all my animals up I'll put my zoo up when y'all come to my house. Okay?
But this
when y'all come for coffee, I'll put my zoo up. Okay?
They'll be looking at us like, who is that?
Right. They'll be looking like, now I know them voices. I know them voices.
Oh yeah.
But I know them. They cool. They cool. They okay.
Sam is Dr. Doolittle. Sam is Dr. Doolittle. All the animals come around him. They just, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, get the dog. The dogs are just hanging on him.
And like, because of that trauma. Yeah. And that's like everything else, that traumatize you. You have to work through it. You have to work through it and just make yourself. I'm trying to tell you, me and cats,
this work though.
You know, and I have a friend now that has a cat. I'm like, the cat like me off the video thing. How did that happen? Now they calling me the cat whisperer. I'm like, I don't even like cats. And I said, I don't like cats, but the cat like me.
But they can read your aura though. They can read your aura. They can read your aura, and cats, I believe, can see spirits. I believe that.
I believe that too.
I believe they can. Cats and sometimes dogs too. I really believe that. You know,
kids
they'll be surprised. They'll be sitting there looking at something. It's like, what are you looking at? And they'll just follow. Like they really follow something along, and I truly believe that they can see that.
And they were here before God created human beings. They were already here. So they're just, you know, have that extra sensory thing because they don't talk like we do. So they have that extra way of communicating.
I think kids do too. Little kids do too. They'll be in the room. We'll be doing. They'll be looking around.
They have no filter.
I'll be like, I've been looking around.
Now that's a relation. That's a relationship. When you have a relationship with kids, you got to nurture that thing because they have no filter. You can't say everything around them. You can't do everything around them because they think it's okay to go tell the next door neighbor, our lights got cut off yesterday. Can we come over here? You know, the water got cut off. Can we take a bath at your house? Kids don't care.
They don't. And parents,
just the innocence.
Those of you who are parents and grandparents, I will say this. The kids do like to talk about their family. They do like to, and they like to tell us teachers just about
everything.
They tell
everything. us, and especially when they are with adults that they trust.
Absolutely,
you know, with adults that they trust, they're gonna tell everything.
And it becomes common conversation. My mommy was on the phone yesterday. And she said, and she was talking such and such, and she called so and so this, and they said, and my mama said, and then my daddy was like, he came in, and my daddy said, but then that ain't my daddy, my real daddy though, because my mama told me call him daddy. You be like, shh, like, shh, like
just keep in mind they gonna tell the teacher. They go
and
tell
then
the
you don't
teacher.
want to be looking at the parents sideways.
And like they teach them
hold out like business.
If you're on the phone, make sure you put them somewhere.
And you like it puts you back because you be like, you don't want to look at the parents sideways. Because you have told them all the business about what was going on last night and who was over there. And you be like,
one little kid this week,
you might not want to talk on the phone around you too.
Yes, please don't.
Right. And that's why it's important. That's why it's important for the parents to have a relationship with their kids' teachers. You know, have a relationship with the kids' teachers. You must build that. You must.
They'll tell. Kid earlier this week was like, my mommy, you know what, Mrs. Cubbage? My mommy said that my daddy was a deadbeat. And then he said, I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's enough.
I don't want to hear no more.
That's enough. I don't want to hear anymore.
Okay.
Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let's go swing on the swing.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Stop.
Yeah.
Play flag on the play. Just throw the towel in. Throw it in. Stop talking.
So be careful.
Hey, you guys, I just wanted to pop in for a second. You guys were having so much fun. I had to borrow Jean. I said they're having too much fun over there. Let me go and see what they're doing. But I have to get ready for a little meeting right now. So let me do my thing. But I love you. I love you both. And I'll see y'all on the Facebook and whatever.
Yes,
I will see you guys. And audience members, thank you. And see you whenever I see you. Bye.
She is funny. We got a bunch of comments to pull up. We've been having a good time this morning, y'all. We've been having a good time. Anijay says, I missed my relationship with my brother for years. I cried, prayed, and questioned myself. And God heard and answered my prayers. Also, my relationship with my children is being repaired. It feels good. The worst relationships that are broken that need to be repaired first are you and God, then your children. For those who are married, you're married. Bonnie says people just being toxic and intoxicated. Absolutely. She also says choose yourself and your children. Others can go straight to the moon and the moon don't shine because of the intoxicating effects, especially if they aren't positive mind, positive energy. Bye, Felicia. My friend says, I don't do olive branches. I grew up knowing switches hurt. So you can walk away or you can watch me walk away. Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Anijay also says, for the lady who has the broken relationship with your mom, ask God for his help. We never know the mind or heart of the other person. They might want to mend the relationship too, but not know how. Your weapon is prayer. Pray for her. Miss Unique says, I'm going through that with my kids. They think they don't have to apologize for any wrong they do because they're your kids. If a mom or dad as an adult can come and apologize, then so be it. I'm old school. Love you from afar. Anijay says, it is important to understand that you don't know the other person's life. I had to learn this. For relationships with the opposite sex, you must first, as I tell my grandchildren, you must first love and respect yourself. It is only then you can know what you will and will not accept from people.
That's true.
Miss Unique says, health is wealth, no toxic for me. Anijay says, children watch you, they see. My twin says, cats will show you the devil when he don't want to be seen. You better say that.
That's right.
You better say that. Man Q says, agree with you, Joan. My son made me fall in love with his pit bull. I remember that. Sweetest, most loving dog ever. Couldn't quite understand all the stories regarding pits. Now we have a pit Rottweiler Chow mix. I know, right?
Wow.
My twin says, I'm not thinking about him. He tells him my house is literally a zoo. Tells him a growing zoo, turtle laying eggs, because my turtle lay eggs and she's still laying eggs, girl. Look.
Still later.
I told you my house is a zoo, child. Anijay says they see their mom and dad's relationship, good or bad. You cannot tell children do what you do, don't, or are showing them. To be in a house where love is not shown or heard will mess with you through life and show in the broken relationships.
So true.
It all begins with you as a child, shows up as an adult. It shows up in adulthood, continues as parents, starts all over again, and we wonder why. Ivory says it be your own kids. It do. That's one of my kids. Good morning, Miss Betty. Good morning. Anijay says, and they should. If all children that are being abused, hungry, would tell someone and not be scared, some could be saved.
That's
Joe
true.
says, this past year, parents exposed to the teachers what goes on in their house of virtual learning. You are absolutely right with that.
That's very true.
Because we have seen so many reports of children, like there's children where they'll be on virtual learning, and there have been a case where there was parents literally having sex behind the child on virtual learning. Like, I mean, come on, your child.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
and right there,
naked behind the kids. I mean, you literally are getting a glimpse into what is going on in these kids' households. Like, at some point, at some age, you should not be walking around naked in front of your kids.
No,
like, you just really should not.
You should not.
You need to cut it off at certain ages, but you absolutely are right, Joe. There are things that are going on, and a lot more stuff is being reported because now that these kids are virtual learning, and then sometimes now certain schools and certain groups, you have to have your camera on. There is no sitting in class and the camera's off, because they need to make sure that you're there, you're paying attention. If you have questions, they need to see that. And so that's how a lot of stuff is being reported now because of virtual learning, that you see everything that's going on behind these kids. Don't know how to put up backgrounds. You see everything. So my kids decide to walk past me, you're going to see my kids walking past me behind me.
Right.
And that's what's going on. It's so unfortunate, but that's what's going on. Man Q says you give what you get, you give back, you give out what you get back. Good morning, Miss Kimberly Mixon Dixon.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Man Q says, what the hell? No respect. And you wonder why our kids are acting out. Miss Petty says, I keep it honest with my girls with everything. Life isn't always sweet, so I don't sugarcoat anything. And you're right. You know, and we even have to teach, we have to teach our kids to say, I'm sorry.
So true.
We have to teach our children
to
say I'm sorry at a young age. When they start able to talk, incorporate, please, thank you, and I apologize. Because what I've learned is, instead of saying I'm sorry, say I apologize, because one thing we are not is a sorry people. I'm not a sorry person. So instead of me saying that I'm sorry to people, I say I apologize.
I apologize. Very
because
nice.
That lets you know I'm admitting that in some shape, form, or fashion, I've done something.
Yes.
Or said something that has offended you. And it was not my intention to offend you. So I apologize for that. Absolutely. And if we as adults can learn to apologize and take accountability for some of the things that come out of our mouth, because let me tell you, as adults, we can spew some serious venom.
Yes.
Okay? And don't even think about the venom that we're spewing and who gets sprayed by that venom. You know, we've got to learn how to check our mouths.
That's right.
As adults, we've got to check our mouths, especially when we're talking to these kids. Because so many times and so often, and it's unfortunate and it's sad, but sometimes these kids don't hear nothing but you stupid, you dumb, you ugly, you get on my nerves, get out my face, you ain't nothing like your daddy, you ain't gonna be nothing, and stop that. Stop that. Watch that venom that you spewing.
And if someone's getting all that negative spewed on them constantly, what do you think? You think this person is going to grow up to be a happy, healthy member of society?
Or productive member of society.
Right. Exactly.
You have nobody telling you that you're pretty, you're smart, you can be anything you want to be. I know growing up, my kids, one thing I've done with my children is I tell my children, even my girls when they were younger, you're beautiful.
Yes.
You're smart. You can do anything you put your mind to. Don't let anybody change your direction that you want to go with what you want to do in life. Because if you work hard and put your mind to it, you can be anything. And I wanted to do that because I didn't want my girls to fall for any of these okie dokes out in the street.
You better believe
because people spew so much venom that when these young ladies hear, oh, you cute, you looking good, you know, they ready to drop them.
Yes.
They're ready to drop them. And it's unfortunate, but that's where we are with some of these children. And so I make sure that my children know, even my boys, like, you are handsome.
Yes.
You are smart.
Yes.
You can do what you want to do.
That's
Put your mind to it. The sky isn't even the limit.
The sky is not the limit.
The stars. Don't reach for the stars because you are a star. Reach beyond the stars. And so I do that with my girls because that way when somebody else out there telling them, girl, you look good. I know my mama tell me that every day. Come with something new.
That's
Come with something new. I'm not falling for that.
That's
that don't mean that to me.
That's
you have to instill the self-esteem. You have to build your children's self-esteem. You have to build their self-respect. So when they get out in these streets and they go forth outside of your vision or outside of your view, you know what you've put into your children. And sometimes allowing, like I say, that light and that love to ooze out from you and to spill onto somebody else. Start letting it spill out and ooze onto your kids first. Let it ooze out and spill into the people in your household. So that way, the light and love you spilling out and oozing out onto them, when they get out there, they're going to let that light and that love inside of them ooze out and spill onto somebody else.
That's right.
Spill on somebody else.
That's right.
So we've got to start with them being young to teach them to apologize. When they do something wrong, if they knock another kid down, don't just be like, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Apologize right now.
That's right.
Apologize.
That's right.
And if we can do that with our kids, then as adults, imagine if we teach them young the manners of please, thank you, I apologize. If we teach them that at a young age as they grow up, that stays within them. And then as adults, they have that ability to say, I apologize.
That's so true. That's so true. And
because we don't apologize because we don't know how.
That's right. And we all have to work at it. The teachers, the parents, of course it starts at home.
It's a partnership.
But it is. It's a partnership. It's a village. We have to do it. Like the kids in my after school program, especially. Oh my goodness. And they'll be like, I'll give them some water or something and they'll just walk away. I'm like, excuse me.
Right. Did you forget something?
Didn't I just give you something? I could have sworn I gave you. And they're like, huh? And I'll be like, thank you, Mrs. Cubbage. That was so kind of you for giving me a glass of water because I was really thirsty. And they'll be like, oh, thank you, Mrs. And I said, now see? I said, now guess what? I said, thank you. Now guess what? I get to say something nice back to you. You're welcome.
Right.
And and that's what you have to keep putting in.
Right. You have this reinforcement.
Yes.
It's reinforcement. The same way they listen to these songs, the same way they listen to Cardi B, 2 Chainz, and all that other kind of stuff. Teach them manners. You have to keep repeating it. Because one thing I learned that I do with my grandkids is if I give you something and you don't say thank you, guess what? I take it back.
I'm taking it back.
I take it back. And they can sit there and cry. They can sit there and look like, what? Like, you're just gonna be thirsty until you learn the word thank you, because I done told you how to say thank you. So until you say thank you, you either gonna be thirsty or you're gonna watch me drink it. Pick
That's
one.
exactly right.
Pick one. But they learn real quick, because as soon as I get ready to sip,
exactly,
they be like, thank you, Ray. Oh, okay, here you go. You can have that back.
That's right.
But we've got to teach them that from a young age, and it's that reinforcement, positive reinforcement. And when they do it, we've got to do the positive reinforcement. Good job.
That's right.
I really liked how you said thank you.
That's right.
I really appreciated that. I appreciated that. Right. I appreciated that. Thank you for that.
That's
right. And we can do it. Like you said, it's a partnership. If your children are learning it at school, they need to be reinforcing it at home.
Absolutely.
Reinforcing.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And who cares if they get mad? Who cares if they get mad?
I know I don't.
Be mad now or in trouble when they're our age.
Right.
Be mad now while you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. But when
I'm trying to tell you have to teach them that. Miss Unique says you can teach them that and they still don't do it. Miss Penny says
keep doing it. Oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna be like
they're gonna be without.
They're gonna be without. Did you want that water? Because I'm thirsty too. I'm thirsty.
Well, you sure?
You sure?
You sure? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for water.
Here you go. Because this sure is nice and cold.
Ooh, it's so refreshing. Girl, I'm trying to say. Miss Petty says, teach them to right their wrongs early so it won't be an issue when they get older. Miss Unique says, especially when they grown, they think you just taught them that only as a kid, and they grown, you can't tell them nothing. Miss Petty says, love is supposed to be patient, kind, and doesn't hurt. Yes, I affirm my girls every day. Miss Unique says, but BREE, you can tell them and teach them and hope they mind don't get weak, especially when they go out in this weak world, because the world is toxic enough. It absolutely is. And that's why we have to, and Miss Unique is one of my friends. She is an awesome mom. I mean, just awesome mom. One thing I can say is in teaching our children, they never forget. Now they may choose not to when they become adults.
That's true.
But it's still within them because they know what we've taught them. And now that I have children in their 20s, I have to trust that what I put into them, they will take out into the world.
Absolutely.
And if they choose not to take the things that I taught them, at this point, it's not on me.
That's exactly
it's not on me.
Once
because
they
as a parent, I did my job. I did, as they say on Legendary, I did what needed to be done.
That is correct.
And so if they choose not to at this point, that's on them. I can't be offended because now that they're in their 20s, they don't want to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, but I know what I taught them.
Absolutely.
And I know what's inside of them, and I know their capabilities.
Absolutely.
But one thing I will do is, now that you're in your 20s, I will check you like an adult.
Like an adult.
I will not treat you as a child. I will not correct you as a child. No. I will check you as an adult. Because what you will do at the end of the day, you're going to respect me. I don't care if you don't respect nobody else. When you're talking to me, you still going to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You still going to hit me with a please and thank you and I appreciate you or I apologize. I don't care about nobody else. Because I know your capability and I know what I put in you. And you will respect me and you will talk to me like you got some sense, or I will check you like an adult.
That's right. And I want to see it in you when you are speaking to me.
Thank you.
There you go. That's I might have the fan going, but I got the snaps.
Girl, my kids know I'll pull his fan out on them in a minute. Ask one of my kids. Girl, 2 of them on here and my brother on here and my mama too.
2 of them on here.
They know. My brother even know. I'll pull the fan out in a minute. Like, what? No, ma'am. No, sir. My brother said, watch your tone. My daughter said that fan is gonna burn. I got my 2 oldest daughters on here, Ivory and Sydney. So they know. Come on now, my kids know.
The girls know.
Hey, but you got to. If we don't learn to check our kids when they become adults, check them like adults.
That's right.
Don't try to correct them as children, because that phase is gone. Now that they're adults and they're in the world and they're making decisions for themselves and they're paying their own bills, check them like adults. Like, who are you talking to?
That's right.
You better fix it. Baby. They don't call me Mommy Shark for nothing, okay?
Oh, that's what you should put on the fan. A Mommy Shark. Ooh. You could paint a Mommy Shark on the fan. Oh,
honey, because this Mommy Shark will bite you. Okay?
I love it.
I'm trying to do.
That's it. That's it.
My daughter Ivory said, okay.
That's right. She knows.
My daughter Cindy said, Jesus Christ. No ideas. No. I told you, when I tell you listen to me 24/7, I promise you, what you see is what you get. I promise you that. Like,
that's it.
I promise you, like, man.
Oh my goodness.
But we have to, and you know, one thing I've learned is, as parents, we have to know when to step back. We have to know when to step back. And we have to learn how to set the proper examples. Show our children what we want to see in them.
Yes.
You know, when our children see us have disagreements, show your children how to respectfully disagree.
Absolutely.
Show your children how to mend fences.
Yes.
You know, show your children what a healthy relationship looks like.
Absolutely.
You know, show them when it's okay to walk away.
Yes.
You know, and those are the type of examples that we have to set for our children, because if we don't set those examples for our children, especially when it comes to learning how to mend fences, then how can we expect them to learn how to mend fences if they've never seen it?
So true.
Like Anijay says, if a child grows up and has never seen love in the house, how can they know how to love somebody? How can they know how to respectfully disagree, or how can they know what a healthy relationship looks like if they grew up in a household where mommy and daddy cussing each other out, or mommy got a new boyfriend every other week and he either whooping her butt or he cussing her out or he punching her every other week? Like, we've got to show our children what these healthy relationships look like. And sometimes just because you love somebody don't mean
that they're
got
good
to
for
be
you. That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. That's
and
exactly
I said what I said.
That's exactly period. That's right. That's right.
Baby,
that's
look.
Right. That's
like
right.
my brother says, you can love somebody from afar, honey.
Absolutely.
You know, they don't have to be in your
face.
I have several family members that I love from afar. That doesn't mean that I don't love them or have love for them in my heart. It just means that I don't feel the need to have interactions with them.
That's right.
And it's okay.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's
Girl,
nothing wrong with it. You know?
It roll off my skin like water roll off a duck back. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Let it go.
There you go. You know.
Miss Petty says, I'm just learning when and how to let go. Miss Unique says, love it. Jill says, show them. Don't be no fool either. Absolutely. Miss Petty says, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Girl, yes. No ma'am, no ham, no spam, no thank you, Miss Shirley.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But we have to be the examples that we want our children to see. Yeah. And in mending relationships, one thing I can say is I have a family member that, I didn't have the best relationship with them growing up for whatever reason. But in that relationship, I learned that in mending relationship and mending fences, even when that person isn't ready to mend that relationship or mend that fence, you have to learn to love people and accept them for who they are and where they are.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I had to learn. And, I love this family member dearly. I always loved them dearly. It was just our communication was really bad. And for whatever reason, they were not able to see me for who I am or for what I am.
Yes.
They saw me through rose-colored glasses. So they had their own opinion because they were on the outside looking in of my life.
Yes.
But in mending that fence and being in the process of repairing that relationship, it has brought so much joy and so much love. It has just brought so much more and so much happiness to my life in repairing this relationship. Because it's something I've always wanted. I've always waited for that family member to be ready.
Yes.
To receive the love and to receive the acceptance from me and to see me for who I am.
Yes.
And, and to see me in the light that I want them to see me in genuinely without the tint on the glasses.
Yes.
And so being able to, and then because they were able to finally take a self-examination and to be able to accept their role and their responsibility in the discord, that really made a difference.
Absolutely.
It was almost like a release of the floodgates.
Yes.
Because it was something so special, because it was so genuine, and being able to have an open and an honest conversation with this person has meant the world to me. To be able to spend time with them without feeling like, okay, I'm waiting on that other shoe to drop because I know eventually they're going to say something either that they don't like about me or something they don't like about what I'm doing, or it's going to come.
Yes.
I'm waiting on the shoe to drop. But now to be able to spend time with them and it be genuine. And I look forward to spending time with them. I look forward to talking to them.
Yes.
And it's a freedom. It's a freedom like no other.
So true.
To know that there's nothing but love there.
Yes.
And it just, and that's why I say sometimes time is what you have to give it.
That's right.
In that time of space.
Yes.
Work on your piece.
Absolutely.
Work on yourself. Look at your accountability.
And what you're willing to accept.
Right. Look at your accountability. And sometimes in that space, you have to take a break from people.
That's right.
And allow people to get it for themselves.
Yes.
And you have to, and in that space, you have to just accept people for who they are and where they are.
That's right.
You have to do that. And it's nothing wrong with, people don't change unless they want to change.
That's
no matter what you say or what you do, a person will not change unless they want to change. So you have to allow that person time to decide for themselves whether they want to change or not. And if they choose to change, welcome that.
Absolutely.
Welcome that. Because it takes a lot.
It does.
It really takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
To self-examine yourself. Yes. And to get to a point where you're like, oh my God.
Right. Like, oh man.
I did that? Like, oh my God, I cannot believe I did that. Yeah. Like, you have to allow people to come to that realization that sometimes they can be toxic.
Absolutely.
They can be toxic to other people. Sometimes it's their words.
Yes.
Sometimes it's their actions.
That's right. And you have to watch your words. Watch
check your mouth.
Yes. Watch
your mouth when you're talking to people.
Because people remember what you say. They remember to the letter. They remember.
I promise you. Words hurt.
Yes, they do.
Words can break. Let me tell you something. And this is not something I've heard. This is something I know.
That's right.
Words can break your spirit.
Yes.
If you let them.
That's right.
Words can break you down, especially if you continually hearing negativity, or someone is not speaking life into you, or someone is always speaking criticism, and it's sometimes not even what you say, it's how you say it.
It's how you say it.
It's how you say it sometimes.
You just have to be careful
with your words and be mindful when you're speaking to other people.
Keep
this in the back of your mind.
Always.
When you're saying something to somebody, or even whether it's a criticism, if it's a critique, if it's an opinion, whatever. When you're speaking to somebody, keep in the back of your mind, is this something that you would want somebody to say to you?
That's exactly
in the way in which you're saying it.
That's exactly right.
Keep that in the back of your mind. Like,
so
if you wouldn't want nobody saying something to you the way you're about to say something to somebody,
that's right.
You might want to keep it to yourself and learn how to reword it.
That's right. That's so true. You have to be, and this is my thing. You have to be a weaver of words.
Absolutely.
You have to be. You because, as you said, you should be trying to speak life into someone, and words hurt. If you don't say something, of course you don't want to lie to somebody. You want to give somebody if you want to critique somebody, try to critique them as positively as possible.
Thank you.
Because they remember what you say. People will always remember. And even if they may not remember your words, they'll remember how you made them feel. They always do. They always do. That's right.
In that order.
That's right.
In that order.
That's it.
And they will. Like if you are a person that is constantly speaking negativity, or you're a person that's not necessarily a positive person.
That's right. No one wants to be around that.
People don't want to be around you.
That's right.
And whoever came to tell you something, whoever came up with that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. So they lied.
They lied.
They lied.
They lied. So we're gonna have to Google that one and figure out.
Baby, let me tell you something. They're gonna need to recant that or take it back. Because let me tell you something, sometimes words can hurt worse than sticks and stones, because guess what? The hurt and the pain from your words lasts longer than the hurt from sticks and stones.
I'd rather you hit me with a stick than with those words.
I'd rather you jump me than cut me with your words.
That's what
because at least I know them bones gonna heal, them bruises gonna heal. But baby, that emotional hurt.
That's right.
That emotional hurt can last you the rest of your life, especially if you don't go to therapy.
That's true. That's
mental health.
That's
right. Mental health awareness month. I'm just saying. Words hurt.
Words hurt.
Emotional pain is something like no other. It's not a hurt that you can go to the doctor and be like, okay, so like this really hurt my feelings. And like, even though they said it like 15 years ago, like it's still in the back of my mind. Because when you speaking something into and over somebody continually, they begin to think that if somebody's constantly hearing they're nothing, they're not going to be nothing, they're not going to have nothing, they don't want nothing, then guess what? Eventually they're going to think they are nothing. They're not going to have anything. They don't want anything. So then what do? They don't want nothing.
They don't want, exactly.
They don't want nothing. They're content with nothing. They're content with not going to school, not working, not doing anything with their lives, because that is what has been spoken over them. The power of life and death are in your tongue. So watch what you say.
Watch what you say. The power of the tongue, the power of the pen, writing stuff. Be careful. And that's another thing too, just quickly. I'll put that on there. Social media, of course, when we were coming up, social media wasn't out there. And I was talking to one of my coworkers about this just yesterday. And he says, Bobby, it's a good thing that social media wasn't out there back in the day. Because, oh my goodness. And I said, I know. And then I thought about that all day. And I said, like you've got to be so careful with what you say out of your mouth, and what you put on social media, what you put out there is so important, because even if you erase it, even if I took it down, It's out there.
You don't know who copied it. You don't know who screenshotted it.
You don't know who saved it, who read it, who
shared it and tagged somebody else in it.
There was a situation that happened, and it was terribly sad, but it was with some folks that we knew, and they it was a couple who got married. They were very, very, very recently married, maybe a month or two. The husband cheated with, now this is the bad part, with the matron of honor. Yes. Woo. Now let's just say, yes. So I was like, oh no. Because of course the wife came to me and said, he did this and that. I said, well, are you sure? And this and that. No, there's evidence and this and that. Okay. Well, let's just say, like I said, the matron of honor. So she herself
was married.
Okay.
Girl,
the wife went on Facebook, tagged her best friend, matron of honor, and let it all out. All of it. I was like,
two marriages that were done.
Yes.
Both of them was done. I can tell you that right now. Both of them marriages were done.
Let's just say I got a little bit ugly. Just a little bit ugly. And I ran into the matron of honor. Of course. Because of course, that's what Miss Bobby ends up. That's to stay away and around that stuff and just bam, right into the matron of honor. You know, I tried to act like I didn't see it. I didn't know. Sorry, folks. I had to try to lie on that one. I usually don't.
I would have been like, girl, I seen the post, girl. What's going on?
I didn't know. I didn't know what happened. I didn't see it. No, girl, I know but she didn't tell. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm busted. Okay, yeah, I'm busted.
Girl.
And let's just say the wife was looking for her.
I would imagine so. Girl, that was one of them. On site. Earrings off, Vaseline on the face.
I was like, well,
eyelashes off.
And she basically like, well, you know, what do you think? And I said, well, first of all,
run.
What do I think? I'm like, I said, well, if I were you, this is just my humble opinion. Since I tried to lie and act like I didn't know, so now you know I know. So
I cannot.
I said I would just stay away from her. Just stay away for as long as you can. Please hide out. Please. Please hide, because it is not pretty and she is not a happy camper. And yes, and it will get ugly. So if I were you, I'd hide. I
would sort of put her gym shoes on and run.
That's right. That's right.
Get a new wig. You don't want to get caught.
You don't want to get stuck somewhere. Find you, because it was not good.
Not good. I don't know.
So please, and of course, all of her friends, all of the wife's friends. I hate to say it, the pastor of our church, you know, we've got pastors and ministers and stuff. So it's like, oh my word. Oh my word. So it was not a pretty situation. So you had to be, you know, let's just say, thankfully both couples reconciled. Of course, the ladies did not. I know it was very shocking. The couples are both still together.
Oh, okay.
I was very surprised.
I guess that's what you call knowing what you will accept and what you won't accept.
Absolutely.
I guess.
I guess. Right. I
don't know. I can't say that. I probably worked that out after you cheated on me after a month married.
Yes.
With my matron of honor. Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have went to counseling, but I don't know if I would have walked out of counseling. We can work this out, baby. I would have been like,
they said, oh no.
I'm like, I don't know about that scenario.
I don't know about that. That's a little rough. That's a little.
I don't know. So that would probably be on one of my. Yeah, I went to counseling. I tried.
Right.
It will probably be one of those conversations.
Exactly.
My brother says, as you would say, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. You can always extend that option to repair, but when you see sparks flying, it's best to chop that up as a loss and junk that relationship, because you will be driving around with a lemon relationship. Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's right.
I know that's right. Miss Petty says, I've learned the difference between a person that has a bad heart and a person with a bad moment. Sometimes the truth hurts. Doesn't matter how you deliver it. And a lot of people mistake truth with criticism, especially when it goes against a person's lifestyle.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, you have to, and that's why I say we have to respectfully disagree.
Absolutely.
You know, we absolutely do.
So please just be careful. Just be careful what you speak out there into the world and what you put out there on social media. It is so important. And you want to be, at least you hope that you would want to be seen in a positive
absolutely
light. You know, you don't want to put out there, oh, they cheated on me and this and that, and this too it is, and isn't it?
But you have to be careful, not just with that, but what you put on Facebook, because you know, I see a lot of times, and I be watching court shows.
Yes.
And it's funny because like you'll get mad at somebody. Yes. And then you'll post something really nasty about that person, or something really personal or private about that person. And then y'all go back to being friends and they didn't see that post. And then while y'all friends, somebody will come out because you took it down and you didn't tag them in it, but you literally said everything about them and then mentioned their name, but didn't tag them in it. And, and somebody be done seen it before you took it down. That's and then while y'all are back friends and being cool, somebody will pull that post out and be like, girl, did you see that post she made about you?
That's right. Because you all are all cool now.
Let me tell you something. People are so shady.
Yes,
people are so shady. They'll wait till y'all are back, best of buzz, kicking it every day, all day. And they'll pull that post out like, did you see that? So you want to be careful of what you put out there anyway. Because my thing is, don't say anything about anybody that you wouldn't say it to their face and that you haven't said to their face.
That's
because
exactly
9 times out of 10 it's gonna get back to them, whether you tag them or somebody else and tag them.
That's
and if you don't want your business out there, don't put nobody else's business out there.
Amen.
Don't put nobody else's business out there. And even in relationships, when relationships end, let it end.
That's right.
Don't feel the need.
Be done.
For our young ladies that listen and our young ladies that watch, do not, and I repeat, do not send pictures or videos of yourself to anybody. Nobody.
Please
do not
do that.
Be on Facebook or don't be on FaceTime. Don't be on Messenger video. Don't be on any type of video doing anything that somebody can record and come back to bite you in your ass in the end. Because people nowadays are vindictive. And there's a new thing out here called revenge porn.
Yes, it is.
Where people, men and women, are posting videos and personal, private, naked pictures.
Yes.
That people have sent them because they're angry that the relationship ended or the person cheated. So they're that angry that they will put your entire business, not business, your business.
That's right.
They will put it out there for the world to see. And I promise you, 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, you're not going to get it taken down, honey.
That's right.
And that is something that will come to bite you later because you never know. You might decide one day, you know what, things are not the way you want them to be. You might decide to run for Congress. You might decide to be a representative. You might even decide to be the president one day.
That's right.
And you don't want naked pictures and naked videos popping out about you 20 years later because somebody like, oh yeah, I know them.
That's right.
And you go to look up and the first thing you see is what? When somebody Googles your name, it's the first thing somebody did. They done put your stuff out there and your name.
That's right. That's exact.
Be mindful of what you do, what you post, what you say, and please do not send anything or do anything because people record FaceTime videos.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
People record FaceTime videos. People record anything.
That's right.
I mean, anything that they can think that can blackmail you with or get you back later. I don't care how long y'all been together.
That's right.
Don't be sending no pictures and don't be sending no videos. And,
no.
Married people do it too. Yes, because when they get divorced, guess what they do? They put them videos and them pictures out there.
Think about it like this. Do not post, send, take pictures of any of that if you couldn't send it to your pastor, to your mother or father. You know what I'm saying? To someone who you look up to and respect. Would you send a naked picture to the pastor of your church of yourself?
Girl, now you got to watch it because sometimes it be.
Some of them might.
I'm just going to say, because I done seen some videos and it be pastors in it. I'm just saying. If the pastors are not excluded,
that's true.
That's true. Unfortunately. Many pastors have been pulled out the pulpit because of some of them videos and pictures that wasn't the first lady.
That's very true. That's very true. That's
wasn't the first lady.
Oh. Ooh, the poor first lady.
Oh, child, I digress. Okay.
They deal with a lot.
Sometimes they are sending them pictures to the pastor. And the videos. And sometimes the pastor be in them.
That's so true. But
remember, we just had that situation not too long ago with the video of the pastor. And it was two of them. One was in his study. Oh, in his study. The one pastor was in his study with somebody that wasn't the first lady. And in the other video was the pastor doing some things that he shouldn't have been doing to somebody who wasn't the first lady. So,
well, let's fix that up a little bit. All right. If you feel like your pastor, if you know a pastor of substance who 9 chances out of 10 you don't believe would be in his office, in his study, doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't put that out there. Don't put that stuff out there. Yeah. Just leave it to,
leave it behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors.
Just leave it. Leave it for your own personal private business.
That's right. Don't take videos.
I mean, unless you're making money on OnlyFans, then everybody's gonna see it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like don't put it out there to the point where, be careful. When we say be careful of what you post, and even in things where, one thing I've learned that I do is, if I've never had a personal conversation with you, then I don't accept you on my Facebook page.
Absolutely.
I don't accept you on my Instagram. I don't accept you on any of my social media in which I have pictures of my children.
Absolutely.
Because I'm very protective of pictures of my children and my grandchildren.
Absolutely.
And even especially now being on this platform, I'm very protective
of
what I put out there, because I don't want anyone to have access to my children or my grandchildren. Absolutely. And I'm mindful of the things that I post. And so because of that, that's why I tell people, when these young people, and like you say, we didn't have Facebook when we were younger. We didn't have Facebook in the 90s and the 80s, and in the early 2000s, we didn't have Facebook.
Yeah, we barely
had social media. And now it's unfortunate, but you see a lot of younger people, like, there's nothing wrong with smoking weed, okay? It's legal. Okay?
It is legal.
Everybody does it. But you cannot post videos and pictures of you smoking and drinking and twerking, and then you post a picture of your child in the same room, in that same outfit that you just posted with you smoking and drinking and twerking and popping.
Please
and
don't.
then the next video is you with your child hugged up and everything.
No. Please don't.
You can't do that.
Please don't do that.
You cannot. Please don't do those things.
Please don't do that.
Be mindful.
That's right.
Of what you're posting, even when you're posting pictures with your children.
And then something else that I do too, because I don't have any children of my own, but of course I teach a million of them. They're all over the place. But my thing is too, because I'm friends with different parents from different different places that I've taught, and obviously it's your child. You can post what you want. You could say their name on there. If I comment on something about your children, I will not say their name, even if everybody in the thing is like, "Oh, congratulations! I'm so proud of BREE. She got her, she got her, her 10th grade, her whatever, her this,
Right.
I would, you will not see me mention, BREE, who's 5 years old, BREE, who's, BREE
Right.
under
Right.
18. I will not say her. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations to her. I will not say
Yeah.
the child's name. No matter how many people know the child's name,
Yeah.
I will not say the name. I will not.
Yeah. And we have to, and we have to be mindful and respectful
Very
of other
careful.
people's privacy too. Because one thing I do is, like, if I post something about my children, because my page is private, I make sure I have it where you can't share it. If it's a picture of my child or something, I make my post non-shareable because I don't want you sharing. Because if I didn't make it public,
right. Exactly.
I don't want you sharing it with other people. I don't want you sharing pictures of my children with other people. If I'm not willing to share them with the world, then I don't want you sharing them with the world, tagging them in it, tagging names. And, that's just not something I do. So, all I ask is that when we do things like that, and when we share other people's, posts, because sometimes some posts are share worthy.
Sure.
We need to be mindful and respectful of the fact that if this person's page is private and it's a picture of their child or something that they chose not to make public.
That's right.
We need to be mindful and maybe ask first, do you mind if I share this post, or maybe share the post without the picture?
Yes, absolutely.
We need to be mindful of people's privacy and respect that, and ask, if it's okay for us to share things, share certain things that we see, especially when pictures are involved or pictures of other people's children.
Absolutely. I have, I do have pictures of children, from back in the day when there before you knew it was, as crazy as it is, but I no longer share that stuff. If I'm in a picture with your child and you want to tag me in it, I'm okay, because that's your that's your picture that you're posting. You said
you're posting you as an adult,
absolutely.
Not you posting it and then you're tagging them in it.
Exactly.
So I definitely get that. Good morning, I'm Good morning, Barry. Good morning. Good morning. So I thank y'all for tuning in with us today, because this was something that I have been thinking about, because it is something personal, and it is something that I find that a lot of us, we want to mend fences with people, or we want to repair relationships, but we just don't know how sometimes. And sometimes we don't want to do the steps that are involved. Because before you can apologize to someone, the first thing you have to do is take accountability.
Yes.
And that can be the hardest part, is taking accountability for your own actions. Because, like I said, sometimes when we get to spewing venom because we're mad and we just ripping people new ones and saying any kind of reckless thing out our mouth, and we posting recklessly on Facebook because they done made us mad and this person did this. Sometimes we need to get off of social media, take a step back,
take a breath,
take a hard look in that mirror and be like, man, like, okay, I know they did this, but what did I do to either make them do that or say that?
That's right.
Or what was my reaction to it? Because sometimes they may be in the wrong for what they said or did, but sometimes our reaction, like our quick reaction to it,
blow it up,
can be just as wrong.
That's right.
It can be just as wrong, and two wrongs do not make a right in any situation. No matter what it is or who it is, two wrongs never make a right.
And I'm going to say something here that's going to be totally old school. I know I'm youngish, but old school. Sorry, youngish, but old school. Why can't, if you're upset about something, write it down. I know I have a publishing company. We're not talking about that.
We're going to get to that another day. We're going to get to that another day.
In fact, Miss BREE, you and I have to talk afterwards. So we're going to talk a little bit afterwards anyway. But
girl, I told y'all I be wearing many hats, okay? I told you I got many hats. Then I look my crown, you know what I'm saying? I got my crown, I got other hats, that I'm wearing. So I'm trying to tell y'all never know what I might pop out with.
That's right. You never know. So
I got several things cooking up right now.
Keep an eye out. Miss BREE might be doing a little something with Pandemic Press Publishing. Keep your
And keep them eyes open and them ears open, because we might be making an announcement soon.
An announcement soon.
Keep that open. Keep that open.
Exclusively here.
Y'all be getting all the exclusives on here.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all be getting all the exclusives, honey. Y'all be getting all the exclusives, honey. Yes.
That's right.
You know how we do with my elementals.
That's right. That's right.
But absolutely, when you are angry,
write it down. Don't put it on Facebook. Just simply
don't write it on Facebook.
Piece of paper.
Write it in a journal.
Yes.
Write it on a piece of paper. Write it on a piece of paper.
Write it on a piece of paper. Get some paper. Paper.
Yes. Old school paper.
Old school.
Lined paper, white paper, whatever.
I got that over there.
Right. What I found that works though, and it might be old school too.
That's good.
But when I was upset with one of my family members, I wrote them a letter. Mm-hmm. This letter wound up being 9 pages long.
Yes.
Because in writing this letter, it wasn't for them.
Yes.
Even though it was addressed to them, it was not for them. It was for me to be able to get out everything in my heart.
Yes.
That I felt in this situation and in this relationship that had hurt me.
Yes.
And how I felt about each situation. And when I started, I figured it'd be like, maybe 2 paragraphs.
Right.
But it ended up being 9 pages long. And I was able to get out every single thing that I felt.
Yes.
Everything that I felt they had done to me, and how I felt about that situation. And when I was done, I burned it.
Good. Excellent.
Because it was a release for me. It wasn't about giving it to the other person so they feel bad or to guilt trip them.
Yes.
It wasn't about that. It was about a release for me. So that way, when the time was right,
yes,
and that person was ready to take their self-examination and to take accountability for their part,
yes,
I would be open with my heart and with my mind. Absolutely. And not still be burdened down, feeling like, well, about 20 years ago, you said, and I felt like, that was a release for me. And sometimes that can be a release for you if you write stuff down or even write a letter to the person.
Absolutely.
You don't have to give it to them.
Don't give it to them. 9 times
out of 10, don't give it to them.
Send it to them.
Like, just write it out. I mean, everything. I don't care if it's a 20-year span, if it's a 5-year span, if it's a 2-month span.
Absolutely.
Write down everything that person did to hurt you and how you felt about that situation.
But
and
write it on a piece of paper.
Put it in the shredder,
social media.
Rip it up, burn it, save it, whatever you need to do. But that frees you.
Yes.
It frees you from the burden of pain.
Yes.
It frees you from that.
Yes, it does.
And it allows you to be able to move forward with your life.
Yes.
And if that person is never ready to have that conversation or to take accountability, you'll be okay with that.
That's right, because you got out all of those feelings.
That's right. You will be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, you need to be okay if that person is never ready to give you resolution.
That's right.
Or absolution.
Absolutely.
You have because if you're the person that needs forgiveness, sometimes you might never get that absolution.
That's true.
You need to be okay with that. And you need to be okay and free from the situation. Regardless of whatever it is, whatever the outcome is. And that's why you've got to be, like Yvette says, you've got to be honest. You absolutely have to be honest. You absolutely have to take accountability for yourself in that letter.
Yes.
And be like, I was wrong for this. I was wrong for that.
Absolutely.
I ask that you forgive me. If you're the person that needs forgiveness, write the letter and be like, I ask for forgiveness. And when you're done, burn it, tear it up, shred it, whatever. And that frees you. And that frees you and releases you.
That's so true.
It doesn't matter.
Social media with your anger. Stay off of there.
Because I guarantee you are going to regret it if you go to social media and make a live or a post about it. You will regret it. Because if it comes a day that you get that absolution or you get that resolution,
that's right.
You're going to regret the fact that you wrote that nastiness down for the world to see. Because you can't take them words back. No, and please don't post no pictures about the person. Because you're absolutely going to regret that. And not only will you regret it, you can be sued, boo.
That's so true.
You can be sued if you do that.
That's right.
Defamation of character. I've seen people go to court and they screenshot the nastiness people have written about them or tagged them in or made memes about them or made pictures about them. Let me tell you something. People can sue you, and guess what? They will win if they have screenshotted and can show the judge what you have done, especially if you cause damage to their business, cause them to lose business or anything like that. You're going to pay restitution.
That's right.
You're going to pay for it. So be careful.
Be
not
very
just with
careful.
the words you speak, but with the words you write.
Oof.
Think about it.
Because the pen is mightier than the sword. Whoever wrote that,
that needs to be commended.
That's the truth. Right there. That was the truth. Because I've seen some stuff on here like, oh, no, they didn't. And then person will take them down. But I'm like, wait a minute, but I saw how many other people. It wasn't about me, but how many other people saw?
I'll make a phone call and be like, you okay? What happened?
It's all right.
I seen your post. Like, you okay? Like, you have to ask. But, you know, at the end of the day, be the role model.
Absolutely.
That you want your children to see. Don't depend on these rappers. Don't depend on these basketball players, these football players, singers, actors. Right. Don't depend on anybody else but to be the role model for your child that you need to be. Be your child's first and only role model that they need to see of how to do things right.
Absolutely.
If you know that you're in a toxic relationship, do not stay in a relationship for the sake of having children.
That's right.
Because staying in relationships for the sake of having kids damages your children in the long run, because that allows them to grow up in a household where there is no love, no compromise, no compassion, no empathy, and all they know is fighting. So what you're teaching your sons is it's okay to put their hands on women and demean and disrespect them. And you're teaching your daughters that it's okay for somebody to put their hands on them, and it's okay for them to be demeaned and disrespected.
Absolutely. And that's not
what we need to teach our children.
That's right.
So be mindful of what you do, what you say to your children, and what you say in front of your children, and be mindful of your actions.
Yes. Yes.
Be your child's role model and don't depend on anybody else. Teach them, please. Thank you. I apologize. That's important.
Very
important. Those things.
Very important.
I taught my kids their manners in English and in sign language. Okay. My kids knew how to say please and thank you in sign language.
That's right. That's right.
When they couldn't talk. So I'm just saying, like, that's how important it was to me.
That's right.
Teach my kids these things. Because you don't see it too often in these new generation.
Right.
You got preschoolers and kindergartners cussing you out, telling you that their mama gonna kick your butt or their daddy gonna kick your butt because you done corrected them. No, ma'am.
We work. No,
ma'am. I don't play with kids.
No,
I don't play with children.
That's right.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No ham. No spam. No, thank you, Miss Shirley.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Like we're not you.
You know, so each day, and each day I ask you all just, not only today am I asking you all to be, to share the light and the love inside of you and allow that to ooze out, but I'm asking you to teach these children.
Yes. Please.
Teach a child, whether it be your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your godchildren. We've got to be the role models that they need to see.
Absolutely. Because it's not funny.
It's not.
Children be disrespectful.
It's not when they're 12 and 13 and they ready to jump on you and whoop your butt because
you're bigger.
You didn't rein them in at 2 and 3 when they were hitting people and teaching them to apologize because it was not okay to put your hands on people. It's not cute when they get bigger than you.
That's right.
It's not. And I've been bigger than my mama since 5th grade. My mama gets little. My mom is little. I've been bigger than my mom since 5th grade. Like, my mom is little.
Well, bring on her 5'10" now. Tall.
Man, I think my mama like that too. I don't know. How tall are you? I don't remember. Because, when we get, as women, when we get older, the osteoporosis kick in and we get to shrink.
I hope I don't end up with osteoporosis because I'm already 5'1", so that's that's not gonna work. That might not work. Lord, please. No osteoporosis, please.
But we get
out for me, please.
Wind up 4'11" by the time you're 50.
You know, shorter than this. Like, wait, what else? I thought I was taller than that.
But I just ask that we, like I said, be the role model that you want your children to see.
Absolutely.
Teach them what a healthy relationship looks like.
Yes.
Teach them what love really is.
Absolutely.
That's what we need. Teach them love.
Yes.
Speak life and speak light and speak positivity into your children every day. Do positive affirmations, not just with yourself. Teach your children positive affirmations. When we saw that part in the movie Help, when she was teaching that little girl to say the positive things that her mother was not teaching her,
That's right.
You are smart. You are kind.
Yes.
You are important.
Absolutely.
Those are some of the things we need to speak into our children and speak over our children. So in letting that light and that love and that positivity ooze out and spill onto someone else, allow it to spill out into your household first. So that they may go forth and allow the light and love and positivity that you pour into them spill out onto someone else that they may encounter throughout the day. And just one random act of kindness, and paying it forward. May it be a simple smile. Maybe it might be a wave at someone, having a conversation with someone that is different from you, whether it be ethnicity, spiritually, culturally, a different walk of life. Just have those conversations, and that we can foster tolerance among us, that we can foster respect for differences. We can tolerate, we can foster acceptance.
Absolutely.
For people who are different from us.
That's right.
That is all I ask, is that we do one random act of kindness, and that we ask that they pay it forward.
That's right.
And you will be surprised at how one random act of kindness of simply being there for someone, whether they're a friend, whether it's an associate, because sometimes people just need someone to listen.
That's absolutely right.
It doesn't mean that you're trying to be nosy or invade yourself in their life. Sometimes people just need someone to listen. So I just ask that you all, just one random act of kindness. And I'm going to leave you all with 2 positive affirmations. But first, I want to say, Bobby, thank you for coming on and just making my day better. I just thank you so much, because it's always a pleasure to have you on here to just, enjoy my day, make my day brighter, honey. Yes. Yvette, I'm gonna pull you on here, Yvette.
You got other boo. Miss Yvette. Miss Yvette she is gonna have you laughing.
Yes, I got to have my Miss Yvette on here, honey. My other boo.
She's gonna have you cracking up.
And my brother will be on here soon too. We cooking up something. We're gonna have y'all laughing all day. I promise you we will. So I'm gonna leave you all with 2 positive affirmations. The first one is, when I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. That's one. And the second one is, when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control.
Love it.
So I thank y'all for coming on and joining us today and having a good laugh, having a good time. I love you all, and there's nothing that y'all can do about it.
That's right.
I will see you all tomorrow morning.
Yes. Thank you.
Baby, at 8 a.m. sharp. Love you all, and I will see you all tomorrow at 8 a.m.